product review. Hey everybody, this is Stuart with Wine on the Dime, and today I'm reviewing a new product. So NewAir reached out to me and asked if they could send me a product to review. I'll be quite honest, I didn't expect a 29 bottle wine fridge, specifically the AWR 290DB. So, well, I guess I gotta review it now, so just let's unbox it. All right, so unboxing I should say, is complete, and here I have my nice, shiny, silver NewAir wine fridge. Taking a look at the Energy Star Guide, I'll clean that off later. It is estimated yearly cost of running, $25.70, 241.3 kilowatt hours expected to be used. So, in case you wonder about the energy aspect of a wine fridge, that's for this specific one, there's that. I haven't even opened it yet, so let's take a look. All right, so from the inside of it, it comes with these nice wooden shelves. I can't tell if it's like a pine or a cedar, but they're nice. They feel like they're sturdy and well built. Like you could hold some bottles of wine on there. The other thing that I like is that they can come out. So if you end up having to put some other stuff in here that is a little bit larger than normal, like a box of wine, I'm kidding. You could do that. So you could put some of that stuff in here, and it would look good. It comes with this. I'm not quite sure what this is, and I'm not also sure what all this is. I bet if I read the instructions, it'll tell me all that, so hold on one second. Okay, so I realized that some of the things that were in there were actually stuff like the door handle and some other equipment, some of which I'm not sure what it does, but one thing I did find is this. This is actually really cool because if I do this, I can't open that wine fridge. And if you have sneaky little kids like me, who like to sometimes hide things in your wine fridge like toys, then this is the perfect thing to keep them out of another one of your most prized possessions. So, let's take a look at the control panel. All right, so your control panel, it's essentially kind of a quick, easy control panel. You have Celsius and Fahrenheit, so you can change it right there. Increase the temperature of one zone, decrease the temperature of that zone. Ooh, that's kind of chilly. Let's bump you up a little bit. And 50 degrees Fahrenheit, you must be for the whites. And then for reds, you should go higher. Yes. All right, so this is the other zone. There we go. We'll keep you right there. And then, if you want something cool, you can put on the lights. So these nice LED blue lights that are in both sections, you can do it high, you can do it like low, or you can have them off. So depending on how you want to show people that you have a bunch of wine, specifically 29 bottles worth, this could be a cool thing for you. Okay, so now, like I said, I'm gonna live with it for a little while, which means I need to put it someplace, I need to put some bottles in it, and I need to kind of work with it for a couple weeks. It's looking pretty good once I clean up the stuff. Packing always is dirty. I'll clean that up. I'll make it look pretty. I'll put it somewhere. All right, well, how about right here? So this is gonna be its new home. And yeah, I guess I'll just play with it for a couple weeks and see how it goes. All right, so I've been living with this NewAir wine fridge for a while now. And I definitely have identified some pros and cons regarding the fridge. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, pro. The build quality is really good on this fridge. I'm quite happy with it. It's sturdy. Everything kind of seals together very well. The shelves are very smooth coming in and out. I'm very happy with the construction of this item. I would say that another advantage of it is I really like this. I know I just mentioned the shelves, but I actually really like the shelving. My existing wine fridge that I had before NewAir sent me this other one to review was metal shelving. And I never really liked the sound and that it made whenever I pull the shelves in and out and put things in, and you kind of hear the glass scratching on it. The wood is a much softer touch. I really do like that. Another thing that I like about it is the fact that it holds its temperature exceedingly well. So in certain zones I've been playing with it, I'll set it, I know I'm not supposed to fluctuate it too much because you're cellaring, but I don't fluctuate it multiple times a day. I kind of change it and then let it test for a couple of days and see if it holds. But every time I change the temperature, it holds lock on that temperature. The other fridge I have right now, it kind of goes back and forth, so it'll be within plus minus a degree, and that doesn't really make me too happy, but this one actually really holds exceedingly well. Like, never has broken the temp once I've set it and it's gotten to temp, so that's quite nice. Another thing I like about it is it's silent. Or at least compared to the one I have now, I can't hear this thing at all. It just sits in the corner and I forget that it's there a lot of the time. Whereas sometimes on the other fridge, I can see it's trying to a little bit harder. Maybe the refrigeration unit's a little bit older or less efficient or something like that. And I can hear it kind of spinning up a little bit on the fans and really pulling in some of that more like compressor noise. On this one, I forget I have a wine fridge most of the time. It's really, really nice to have that there. All right, so let's talk about some of the cons that I've identified. The first con that I identified was I don't necessarily like the position of the water well. Like, I like the fact there's a humidity control in there. I'm kind of debating on where it should be, but I don't necessarily like it being right down there at the bottom because I'm clumsy. Just to be quite honest, I'm clumsy. So I accidentally like hit things or close a little too hard and stuff kind of spilled out a little bit when I was using it. But I mean, it's that's my bad, and like I said, I'm clumsy. That's just a personal preference for me. I do love the fact that it has that humidity control well, though. I do like having the ability to add some water in there and allow everything to kind of be at a reasonable humidity within itself. So I do like that, don't get me wrong. I'm just not necessarily think I'm married to the position of that. But to be quite honest, I'm not quite sure where else I would put it at the moment. So this is more of me being picky because I'm clumsy than anything else. Another con that I have for this fridge is while it maintains temperature control really well, it doesn't have temperature memory. So to give some context on that, San Antonio, where I live, has been slammed with thunderstorms for like the last 3 weeks. Like, we're just constantly getting rain all of the time. I've lost power to my house a handful of times. During that time, the wine fridge comes back up at like the stock setting for the memory. And I haven't been able to find a way to kind of lock or change what that stock memory is. So I have to remember after the power goes out to go back to the wine fridge and reset it. Once I had to do that 3 times in one day. It was kind of annoying. So one recommendation that I do have for NewAir is for them to put in something where whoever buys it can change the default memory of what it is, or just when they lock a temp, it stays locked. So it's saved into memory, and so if something like a power outage happens and the wine fridge comes back up, then it just taps into whatever memory was last put into the circuits or something like that. And I don't know how to do it, but the memory control would be nice. It would be very nice, so I wouldn't have to worry about going back and messing with the wine fridge again after the power goes out for the 3rd time that day. I don't necessarily like the lock being on the bottom. And that has just more to do with the fact that I have to get down low in order to lock the wine fridge and unlock it and then do everything else. When the wine fridge sits up here and I want a bottle that's right here, I don't want to have to go down here in order to unlock it. I would prefer the lock to be like on the side, or I know this is also designed, I know that this is also designed to go into islands and stuff like that for in kitchens and stuff, and that's fine. Maybe having a top level lock or something like that would be better. I would kind of prefer that over having such a low lock on the bottom, but I still like the fact it has a lock. All right, so the last con I have is gonna be the lighting. So hear me out on this. The lighting is bright. It has multiple, you can adjust the different levels on it or just have it off. Perfect. They're really, really bright blue LEDs. Like really bright blue LEDs. So I played around with having the LEDs on for a while. I kept them on and just let them see what it was like at night. There was one night I was coming home, everybody was asleep, I was coming home late from working out, and I walk in, and it's just like I'm being beamed up by aliens. These lights are just like blasting me from the corner where I keep my wine fridge. And then I was like, okay, so at this point, I think I've determined that I don't necessarily want such bright lights. I mean, they look really good. If I was gonna have people over for a party, I'd probably turn them on and stuff like that, just to be like, hey, look, I have lights in the fridge type thing. But I would honestly still like to have them on, but I would probably prefer red. Red to me is a little bit less abrasive, and it doesn't really. Blue light has a higher, I don't know, I'm going into physics. Blue light has a higher frequency wavelength than red light does. Blue light destroys your night vision. So if you're someone who just walks into your house and has the wine fridge pointing at you and gets blinded by bright blue light, it takes a few minutes to readjust to kind of see what's going on. I would prefer to have red lights, or the option to cycle, or just make it like a strobe disco color thing. Don't do that. But I'm thinking that the red would be a nice addition. Maybe if you give people an option, give them a few panels with red, a few panels with blue, or mix. Maybe that could be a customization option for the next model. You can, as you're ordering it, you can say what kind of lighting do you want it. Do you want white? Do you want all these other kinds of lights? And allow people to kind of choose their lighting. Ultimately, I don't really necessarily feel like keeping the lights on when you're cellaring is a good idea, because you want to minimize the amount of light, especially something that's high frequency like blue light. So I keep my lights off, unless, like I said, I'm gonna have some people over. I kind of want to have some kind of cool effect lighting in the background with the wine fridge. That's fine, but I prefer red lights. That's just me. So as you can see, from the cons perspective, I'm being really picky. I really like this fridge. I'm going to give this fridge a very good. It has great capacity. It is, like I said, it's silent. It has great control. I can lock it up. There's really not much more that you want to have to deal with regarding a wine fridge. I mean, it really hits all the major check boxes. The thing that prevents it from being great are the items I have in my cons. I'm just picky about certain things, and I would like to kind of see maybe a few design changes or customization options in the future that would allow for you to be able to address those items, and that would give it a great if those things change in the future. But you know what? That's just me. I'm just one person. This is what it's been like living with it for the last about a month or so, and me doing different things with it. So if they could fix that, especially the temperature memory in the event of like a power outage, that would be a huge step forward. The other stuff is just me being super picky. The temperature thing, I actually feel should be something that you possibly include as a default feature, because if you're going to be spending that much on a fridge, temperature control, in my opinion, is something that should just be there. Or temperature memory, I should say. The control is there, but the temperature memory should be there. That being said, if you're going to go out and buy one of these wine fridges, which I highly recommend you do if you're looking for a wine fridge, it's a great fridge, looks good, functions perfectly, then don't go immediately out and just buy it. I'm gonna save you some money here, because I have a discount code in my description from the manufacturer that will allow for you to get a discount if you use it. So take a look at the description of my video, or if you're looking at this on the website, on the post, and take that and then go buy the fridge, because then you're gonna save some money and you're going to have a fridge that you enjoy and save you some bucks. And then with that money, you can go visit the Wine on the Dime store if you want, or buy some wine to fill up that fridge. Either way, you're gonna have a fun time. Anyway, this has been Stuart with Wine on the Dime. If you liked today's video, please like, subscribe, and comment. Have you used this NewAir wine fridge? Have you tried it? Are you in the market for one? What are some of the features that you're interested in? Just gonna ask a whole bunch of questions because I'm interested to get your feedback and opinions. Leave all that information in the comments below, and I will see you guys again soon with another episode from Wine on the Dime.